National parks are some of the most beautiful places on Earth, but they also hide some of the darkest mysteries ever recorded. Every year, hundreds of people disappear inside these massive forests. Most are found. But some, they seem to simply vanish into thin air. Today, we're diving into one of the strangest disappearances ever reported. A case that investigators still whisper about. A man who walked into a quiet forest trail on a calm summer morning and was never seen again. This is the unexplained disappearance of Gerald Crew, and what happened to him is something even seasoned search teams still can't explain. Welcome back to the Noggin Knock. Let's get into it. Gerald Crew wasn't your typical hiker. He wasn't reckless, and he wasn't inexperienced. Friends described him as calm, methodical, and more prepared than the park rangers. He'd spent decades exploring national parks around the United States. No matter the trail, the terrain, or the weather, Gerald always made it back safely. So, on June 16th, he packed his small day bag, grabbed his GPS tracker, and set out on a trail in Red Pine National Park. A trail he had hiked dozens of times. Nothing seemed unusual. The weather was good. Visibility was perfect. And the trail was considered safe, even for beginners. But somewhere between the trailhead and the first mile marker, Gerald Crew disappeared. At 9:14 a.m., a park volunteer saw Gerald walking across a wooden footbridge. He waved, smiled, and said good morning. That was the last confirmed sighting. Less than an hour later, hikers reported hearing a strange sound coming from deeper in the woods. They described it as a mix between a low hum and a metallic echo, like two pieces of steel rubbing together, when those hikers passed the same footbridge around 10:20 a.m. Gerald was gone. His footprint stopped only a few yards into the trail. After that, nothing. It was as if he stepped off the earth itself. When Gerald didn't return to his car that evening, rangers launched a full search. They expected to find him quickly. This wasn't a dangerous trail, but instead they found some of the strangest evidence ever documented in a missing hiker case. Search dogs followed Gerald's scent for about a quarter mile, and then suddenly lost the trail completely. Thermal drones picked up nothing, no body heat, no movement. Searchers reported a sudden drop in temperature in one specific clearing, almost like the air was being pulled into the ground. But the weirdest detail came from a ranger who said he heard what sounded like a voice calling his name, coming from an area where no one was supposed to be. He followed the voice and found nothing. Not a footprint, not a broken branch, not even wildlife, just silence. On day 3 of this search, a small team discovered something unsettling, a makeshift campsite. It wasn't Gerald's, the gear didn't match anything he owned. But next to the fire ring, they found something that stopped everyone in their tracks. Gerald's map, folded perfectly, placed neatly on a tree stump. It was dry, untorn, and didn't show any signs of being left out in the weather. It looked like someone placed it there intentionally, recently. When the search team tried to track footprints around the site, there were none. Not even their own prints stayed visible for long. It was as if the forest was swallowing them. Over the next week, more reports came in from searchers. Echoes that repeated back words that weren't spoken. Metallic sounds despite no equipment in the area. Static interference on radios, compass needles spinning. Sudden pockets of dead, where even birds went quiet. One ranger described it as like the forest was holding its breath. Another searcher claimed he saw a figure standing still, deep in the trees, when they approached it. The figure faded behind the branches and vanished. But the most disturbing detail came on day 7. A searcher's body camera captured a low, resonant hum, followed by the faint sound of someone saying, "Help, please." But the voice wasn't Gerald's, and there was no one around. To this day, investigators have no answers. But there are several theories. 1, sudden medical emergency, possible, but doesn't explain why there was no evidence of a body anywhere. 2, animal attack. Search experts ruled this out. There would have been clear signs. 3, another person was involved. Some believe Gerald encountered someone hiding deep inside the park. Someone who didn't want to be found. 4, Environmental phenomena, the metallic hum, temperature drops, and compass failures hint at something unusual, possibly geological or electromagnetic. 5. Something paranormal. Search team members swear the forest felt wrong, like it was watching them. Some believe Gerald stepped into a place where reality bends, a place he couldn't step back out of. Gerald Crew remains missing to this day. No clues, no leads, no answers. Just a trail, a bridge, and a man who walked into the woods and never returned. What do you think happened? Did Gerald encounter someone? Something? Or did the forest itself hide him away? Drop your theories below. I read every one. Thanks for watching the Noggin Knock. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more mind-blowing mysteries every week. And remember, some places don't just make people disappear. They keep them.